frustrating on so many levels. What's your viewpoint of where we are at this point?
Well, the Caps have been outplayed in every game pretty much for the most part, and they're letting Carolina run the show, and they just haven't had the answers, and they've been doing the same things, in my opinion, over and over, and they've got to find a different way to play. They've got to make this a one-game series, and it's Thursday night, and they've just got to go out there and they've got to play a better and a different brand of hockey and have execution from everyone that's getting any type of ice time.
So, Alan, the Caps are 2 for 12 on the power play, if my poor math is correct, through 4 games. And the most frustrating thing to me, and I think to a lot of Caps fans, is, one, you're facing the best penalty kill, not only during the regular season, but during the playoffs as well in Carolina. And it just seems like the Caps get close to the blue line, and they dump the puck in, and they hope that they're going to go in and win a board battle against the Canes. And more often than not, a lot more often than not, they're not winning that battle, and Carolina's just casually flicking the puck down the ice and rendering any sort of power play advantage moot for the Capitals. How do they improve on that starting on Thursday night?
Well, I think the biggest thing you're referring to is the Caps breakout on the power play. And one of the worst things you can do is, be dependent on your power play in the playoffs, because it's usually the first thing that goes. And I just think on the power play, some of the tells that they had coming down the stretch, and actually all season, the majority of the season, is their breakout, their entry to get into the zone, the penalty kill, the power play zone. It has to be faster, and it's too casual, too slow, easy to read, and you're not forcing the penalty killers to adjust or just react quickly. If you're doing it at such a slow pace, they can hold their ground, stand still. It's easier to get after the puck. So I would say that definitely has to be done with more speed. Maybe, and a lot of people hate the slingshot. That's when you leave that puck, a player, say a John Carlson, a Schicker, and they go up and they throw it back. And meanwhile, now everyone's standing still. And other than the player who's coming up, I think do everything with more speed. Rasmus Sandin's done it over the season where he looks back like he's going to drop it and then just skates it in the offensive zone. Now, if you can get it in the zone with possession, or with speed on the dump in, you should be able to retrieve your pucks and get some pretty decent zone time and be able to set up. They were unable to do that, especially in that first 4-minute sequence. It was back-to-back 2-minute minors in the first period, and they lost a lot of good momentum that they had gained the way they started the game once again.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seemed, and I hear what you're saying, you know more than me, but it just seems like Carolina, each player is just faster on the skates than the Caps. Am I wrong on that?
They play a system. They play a system that's a forward go-ahead system. They don't play east to west, side to side, from like bench to penalty box with the puck movement. They move everything up the ice as quick as they can. They don't slow it down. There's time when they can't get in, they just wrap the puck in your zone and just try to hunt down whoever gets the puck and create turnovers by one player that's standing still. And the Capitals have tried some different things, and I think it all comes down to how much grit you want to play the game with at this point, because Carolina, every year they play the exact same system. They basically have the same team since Rod Brindamore became the coach. The same style, nothing changes. They don't win the Stanley Cup. They usually lose in this round or the next. And you've got to find out, why do those other teams win against them? That's because they've had time to watch them do what they do, and they've adjusted accordingly. And they take away their game plan, what they've been doing in the playoffs, and they adjust it. But to me, no matter what Carolina does on their forecheck or when they have the puck, to me what matters most is what the Capitals have to do when they have the puck. And game one, they only had 14 shots. They were at home. They had line matchups. The next game, 21 shots. They watched the Carolina Hurricanes in that game just come at them in the third period when they dominated the early portion of it. 21 shots the last 2 games each. Mm-hmm. So, you can do the math real quick, but it's not enough shots for me. There's not enough volume. The shot attempts are like 267 to 133. The Caps have had to block like 107 shots so far in this series, which means there's way too much zone time. And everyone's talking, when I watch and listen to other people talk about the goaltending of the Carolina Hurricanes, they're saying what a great goals against average he has and what his save percentage is. Well, shoot the puck. Let's see if he's actually a good goalie. Let's make him win a game, and they're not forcing Frederik Andersen to win a game.